This is K.M. Weiland, and you're listening to the 62nd episode of the Wordplay Podcast. The summer is rapidly slipping away here in western Nebraska. We're getting closer than ever to the release of my entirely revamped website. Not only have we overhauled the design, I've also been hard at work adding extra goodies for writers and readers alike. Among other things, I'm excited to announce the production of a 60-minute audio presentation, Conquering Writer's Block and Summoning Inspiration, on which we've just wrapped up production. I should have the first copies in my hands within the week. It's not quite as exciting as holding your print and bound novel in your hands for the first time, but it's still exciting. I'll be watching the mail with bated breath, and if everything goes smoothly, I'll be able to share the album, on CD and MP3 download, with you sometime early this fall. Keep your eyes and ears open for more updates. Skip the boring parts. The latest post in the video series on my blog uses an example from Alexandre Dumas' 20 Years After to explain how, when, and why to eliminate scenes that could potentially bore your readers. You can watch the video on my blog at wordplay-kmweiland, that's weiland.blogspot.com. New videos are posted every Wednesday. Meanwhile, enjoy this week's podcast. Are you benefiting from the intimacy of pronouns? Pronouns are those clever little inventions that allow us to replace nouns and avoid clunky repetition. How awkward would it be if we had to mention our character, Colonel Daniel Fitzgerald the elephant trainer, by name 5 times in one paragraph? Thanks to the pronoun, we only have to mention him once at the beginning of the paragraph, unless another male character interpolates himself somewhere in the middle. However, pronouns accomplish much more than just variation of word rhythm. When used to their full potential, pronouns have the power to accomplish a number of impressive tasks, including aiding suspension of disbelief, encouraging realistic narrative, and fostering a sense of camaraderie and intimacy between one character and another, and between characters and readers. Pronouns, much like the dialogue tag said, offer a certain amount of invisibility. We read them, recognize them, and process them almost without seeing them. Not only does this contribute an extra oomph of speed to our reading, it also eliminates even the slightest of jolts that might pull us from the story. Using pronouns to replace character names, whenever possible, creates a seamless flow of narrative that puts the focus on the what and how of your scene once you've established the who. Overusing character names is a surprisingly common pitfall. Perhaps because it takes us 5 minutes to write a paragraph that will be read in 30 seconds, or perhaps because we often feel a special connection to our characters' names. It's far too easy for us to mention names more often than we need to. Particularly in scenes in which only one character is present, we have no reason to repeat the character's name in every sentence. On the other hand, we don't want to overuse pronouns to the extent that we mire readers in such a state of confusion that they have no idea who this he they're reading about really is. Following are some guidelines for deciding when pronouns are appropriate and when they're not. Use pronouns when only one character is present in a scene, when only 2 characters of opposite genders are present in a scene, when the pronoun's antecedent is clear. Use names, when you introduce characters, when any chance exists that a reader might attach a pronoun to the wrong character, when the flow of the sentence demands emphasis on a character or his name. Take a look at a few paragraphs in your work in progress, and see if exchanging a few names for pronouns will aid the flow and readability of your story. Thank you for listening to the Wordplay Podcast. To read a transcript of this episode, visit me on the web at wordplay-kmweiland, that's weiland.blogspot.com, and be sure to listen again next week.